Welcome back to Call of Duty Mobile, everybody. Today we're back, and today we are going to be covering quite the hot topic in the Call of Duty Mobile community, and that is the fact that it appears Call of Duty Mobile has tricked us at the cost of potentially hundreds of dollars for anyone who has been affected. So this is a pretty big deal, and now we're going to be breaking this down a little bit more in depth and explaining exactly what has occurred. But long story short, the best items in the Halloween Lucky Draw supposedly had a 42% chance of being gotten since they are epic, but due to the clever placement of a couple of items like the EXP card and the season weapon crates, that 42% chance of getting an epic weapon does not tell the whole story. And because of that, for a lot of people, the two best items, the two items that people really cared about out of this Halloween Lucky Draw, pretty much chances are that they were going to be the last two items that you got. And now the part where things kind of escalate and get even sketchier looking is if you guys follow me over here to my video that we dropped just the other day. In case you guys have not checked it out, make sure to check it out. It should be popping up in the top right corner for a little bubble or something that you can tap on and go and give it a look. But long story short, here you guys can see that for our very first crate, it only cost 40 COD points to get our first weapon out of the Halloween Lucky Draw. Now if we go back over here to our game, we can see that the last one that we got was 10,000 COD points. And then this combined with the fact that the two items you want the most are probably going to be the last items in here, despite the fact that epic items supposedly have a 42% chance of being pulled, that's where things kind of get really iffy. So we're going to be breaking this down in depth and explaining pretty much how they managed to do this, and actually that this has happened in a crate before as well, and we're going to be showing an example of that. But if you guys think that this is wrong and that this is not how they should be classifying the pulls for stuff like this, make sure to hit that like button and let's try to spread awareness of this video. So number one, hopefully people know what they're getting into before they personally do the Halloween Lucky Draw, because someone might click on the more info and be like, oh, I have a 42% chance of getting an epic purple, and they might be, I might get the skeleton skin, I might get the pumpkin head, but odds are that they're not going to get those two until the last two pulls, which are incredibly expensive. So hopefully Call of Duty Mobile sees this video and sees the community reaction as well through those likes, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this in that comment section down below as well. But hopefully the community can catch Call of Duty Mobile's attention and bring light just how, like, this isn't the way that this should be, okay? And there's a couple of issues with it that really could have a more fair way of being listed, because even though they list, for example, the epic as having a 42% chance of being pulled, you are incredibly more likely to pull the season weapon crate and weapon XP card. I have looked at other unboxing videos on YouTube and just in general the community reaction, and it is incredibly rare for people to get the Outrider skeleton and the AK-47 pumpkin head before their last two pulls. It's still possible, like, I'm not saying that they're rigged to always be at the end, but what I'm saying is that these odds that you're seeing here, they don't tell the entire story. So like I'm saying, try and spread this video, spread awareness of what is going on, make sure that no one unknowingly opens up the Halloween Lucky Draws thinking that they have a good chance at getting the pumpkin head or skeleton skin. And hopefully a member of the Call of Duty Mobile team can come across this video, see the community reaction, see the amount of likes on it, and be like, okay, something's wrong and we need to fix this, because they definitely need to fix this, man. I don't think that it's fair to be listing an epic at a 42% chance, but not kind of detailing just how much rarer specific epic items are, if that makes sense. And honestly, after the response on my crate opening video and seeing some of the other YouTubers' crate opening videos out there, I'm really happy that I was one of the people that spent $250 to find this out. I'm very happy that, you know, I was able to take that L, and then a lot of people were able to notice, like, oh, I should not open this crate expecting to have a chance of the Outrider or the pumpkin head unless I'm incredibly lucky before those last two pulls. So I'm really happy that my crate opening was able to kind of contribute to some evidence kind of showcasing that. That's why I'm always trying to cover new things coming to Call of Duty Mobile, and why I'm more than happy to sacrifice my wallet to hopefully help some of you guys see just how much harder some weapons might be to get than they might initially seem. Like, I'm more than happy to take as many L's out there as a single person to try and spread that awareness and spread that knowledge to as many people out there. So make sure you guys are subscribed with that notification bell hit to stay tuned for more Call of Duty Mobile videos. And as much as my wallet is gonna hate this, especially with the way that this crate opening went down, future crate opening videos as well. But all right, let's break down exactly what is happening, and that is this thing I was talking about where not all epics are made equal. So I'll be leaving links in the description to every one of the videos that I showcase and feature throughout here, because this video is actually someone breaking down what a lot of different YouTubers who did this crate opening and the results that they got in what order that they got. As you guys can see, me, Noah from YouTube, and Hawk's Nest all got the skeleton, and AK is our last two pulls. Parker, who is another YouTuber, didn't even get the skeleton or the AK because he ended up stopping before he got to that point. But as you guys can see, for Parker, he pulled 7 items, meaning that he had 3 items left, 2 of which were the AK and the skeleton. And this isn't just something we've seen across YouTube crate opening videos, but this is also something that a lot of the community has been voicing. And a lot of people have been like, hey, I've been doing an opening, and yeah, those are like some of the last items that I got. Again, it's possible to get them before the last 2 items. I've seen some people, if they're really lucky, even manage to get them in their first couple of draws when the draws are super cheap, but it's much more rare than the odds would have you believe. So you might be asking yourself, how is this possible? Well, I'm not saying that this is how, but this is one potential example how it could be determined. So as you can see in the middle over here, I have the probability of getting rewards. You can see that there's a 42% chance of getting the epic and the rest of the numbers that we don't really care about as much. So how is this possible, despite the fact that almost everyone's last pulls happen to be the skeleton and the AK? Now, these aren't exact numbers. This is just an example. I want to stress that before I get yelled at for exposing the odds. No, I don't know the exact odds, but something like this isn't out of the realm of the possibility, because out of the 4 epic items, only 2 of them are ones that people are honestly opening this Halloween lucky draw for, and those 2 are obviously the rarest ones. People, for the most part, are getting them as their last 2 pulls, and as a result, that means that the other 2 epics have to be much more common. So one way that this could be distributed is that these 2 epic openings, like the EXP card over here and the whatchamacallit crate, have a 20% chance each, for example, but then the rarer skins like the skeleton and the AK have a 1% chance each. So technically speaking, you have a 42% chance of getting an epic, and Call of Duty Mobile is being truthful about that part, but they're never detailing how rare each epic is. And from what we've seen, it's very obvious that certain skins are significantly rarer and certain pulls are significantly rarer than other pulls. So I really hope that they correct this moving forward, and either they have an even distribution for all epics, or they detailed the exact odds of pulling each thing, because otherwise this 42% tells you nowhere close to the full story, and it can be very misleading when someone's like, oh, I have a great chance at getting these rare skins, but in reality the odds might be something like this. Now, this isn't even the first time we've seen something like this happen in Call of Duty Mobile, which is another reason why after seeing the Halloween lucky draw thing happen, I was like, okay, I gotta make a video about this, because obviously this is gonna be a theme moving forward if we don't voice our opinions. So if you follow me to the store, you can see that there's a battery soldier crate that came out a couple of days ago, with the top tier prize being the battery skin. Now here's the thing, if you follow me to the odds, 42% chance of getting a rare skin and a 58% chance of an uncommon skin. Okay, seems fair enough. So you should have a pretty good chance at getting the battery. Well, similar to the Halloween lucky draw event, that's not the case. So over here, you guys are seeing another Call of Duty Mobile YouTuber by the name of iFerg. Super dope YouTuber and an absolute monster on the sticks, or on the glass, I should say. But over here, he's doing a battery soldier crate unboxing because he wants to get the outfit. And as we can see, he has 10,780 COD points at the beginning of this unboxing. He's gonna be pulling 10 crates at a time for the cost of 360 COD points. And throughout these pulls, you can see that on multiple occasions, he is getting a lot of blues. But those blues are coming very often in the form of credits. Like, look at how many blues he's pulling. It seems that blues are very common, but the specific blue that most people are looking for are not as common as the rest, and that's not denoted in the odds of the crate or the opening. So technically speaking, while the blues might be that rare, specific blue items are rarer than others. Now, finally, my man Ferg, you guys can see he pulled the battery soldier, and that man's hella hype. I don't blame him, but look at how many COD points he has left. This man has 4,600 COD points. He spent 6,000 COD points. He opened, at that rate, that's like 150 crates, I think, or somewhere around there, give or take some crates, but definitely around that range before he got the battery soldier specifically. Like, that's insane. So, okay, Star, what's your point? Well, my point is that it's happened before, and, well, we can see it happening here, and if we don't do anything, we can definitely see it happening in the future as well. So hopefully we can voice our opinions, and hopefully Call of Duty Mobile sees the whole community kind of uproar that might be caused by this and be like, oh, shouldn't have done that. And honestly, I feel like it's extra bad in the Halloween lucky draw crate because, like, every draw gets more and more expensive to the point where your last couple of draws are like, I think it's 6,000 COD points and then 10,000 COD points. And as a result of that, people who have already invested like 5 items in and don't have the items yet, they might be more willing to keep going down the rabbit hole to try and get those last 2 items. And those are the 2 items, the skeleton and the AK, that most people want, right? So while technically speaking, Call of Duty Mobile is being truthful about the odds of getting a certain tier of item, like a 42% chance of getting an epic, they never tell you the odds of getting specific items, and as a result of that, they can actually change those odds around a little bit, so the items that you actually want are a lot more rare than the odds might make them seem. And I don't know, man, it just seems extra bad with the lucky draw system, since every time that you buy a skin, it gets more expensive. So like, if you are a couple of skins deep, you might be like, okay, I've already spent this many COD points, I gotta keep going, but then as you keep going, it just gets more and more expensive, and that kind of like sunk cost fallacy, it just keeps you motivated and it keeps you moving, which is like, I don't know, man, it's a recipe for disaster. So hopefully this video was informative for y'all, and hopefully it can be part of a wave that causes change, and hopefully it just leads to Call of Duty Mobile being a bit more upfront with this. Like, I'm not saying that they can't make these items rarer, right? Like, if they want to make these items rare to pull, so be it, but just don't try to classify like epic items as 42% and then have specific items be way rarer than that. And also, maybe at the beginning, kind of like find some way to list how much each item, for example, in this lucky draw system, how much each item pull is. So like, it lists that your first item's 40 points, and before you even open that first item, like, you can see how much your 5th pull is going to be, how much your 7th pull would be, how much the 10th pull would be, so people know ahead of time what they're getting into, and just overall, so they're a bit more honest up front. That's kind of the main thing that I think a lot of us would want out of this. But let me know what you guys think about this in that comment section down below. And again, if you guys think that this is a change that does need to be caused and does need to be stirred, make sure to hit that like button and spread the video around so people know what's going on. But that's gonna wrap it up for me for now. Thank you guys, old son, for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one. That's it.